I want to capture your minds just for the next 15 or 20 minutes or so. This is a story about a man who faces trials and tribulations. A man, let me build the scenario for you. A man who, let's just say, lives in Australia, somewhere far away from Iraq, the land of Hussain. He's a wealthy businessman, semi-religious, comes to Ashura, goes to Ramadan programs, Day of Ghadir, the Day of Qadr, for example. Salat al-Eid, you'll see him there. But most of the time, he's not really interested in the religion of Islam and the rituals of the religion of Islam and even the programs associated with the religion of Islam. Generally, he's a semi-religious kind of person. However, what he holds very dear is his mother. His mother, he'll do anything for his mother. Unfortunately, his mother was going through an illness. On her deathbed, she said to him, "My son, come towards me." He said to her, "Yes, mother, anything for you." She said to him, "My whole life, I've tried to inspire you to be more attached to the Ahlul Bayt. Unfortunately, it's just the will of Allah, or unfortunately, you're just, you weren't that interested. However, if you love me, there is one final request that I need from you to do. Just one request that I want from you." He says to her, "Anything, mother. Name it." She says, "After I pass away, I want you to perform one thing, and that is to perform the ziyarah of Imam Hussain alayhi salam." It's a very simple task. Travel to Iraq, perform the ziyarah of Imam Hussain alayhi salam, perform the ziyarah of Imam Ali alayhi salam, Kadhimiyya, Askariyain, and then head back home. That's all I want from you. All I want from you. He says, "Okay, mother, no problem. I'll try my best. I'm a busy, wealthy businessman, but I'll try my best." Unfortunately, within 2 or 3 days, she passes away, and it hits the man hard. It hits him. He's low. His business is suffering. It hits him to such an extent, he says, "This man Hussain that my mum talks about, I know of him only through the Ashura majlis that I attend, but I have to go and see him." But he's in such a mood of depression, such a mood of tribulation. His mother's just passed away, and he really loved his mother. Really loved his mother. He said, "I have to fulfill her wish. I have to fulfill her wish." In my life, there have been struggles. Yes, these eyes have witnessed pain. So many times I've been close to destruction, and this troublesome world has thrown me away. But as I walk through the valley of shadows, as I run through fire and flames, I hear a voice whisper sweet songs of freedom, and I feel stronger than I did yesterday. Ya Hussain, Ya Hussain, Ya Hussain. And I remember the tears of the children, burning hearts and brothers pure. All I see are visions of murder, a falling flag, a lion's roar, and all I hear are sweet songs of freedom, burning hearts and brothers pure, calling out to those who will follow. You must be strong and stay on the road. Ya Hussein, 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 Ya Hussein. Even though this world and all its thoughts will leave me bleeding with no one left to mourn me, there will always be a place in my heart playing out the sweet songs of freedom. So he hears the name of Hussein, the sweet songs of freedom playing around. The name of Hussein is drawing him close towards Karbala. Drawing him close towards Karbala, he says, before I meet Hussein, I have to prepare myself. Let me read about the tragedy of Imam al-Hussain alayhi salam. Let me read what happened on the day of Ashura on the lands of Karbala. And so he flicks through the pages in the books and he finds one very touching story. The story is of a young girl who also faces trials and tribulations. A young girl by the name of Fatima. A young girl. According to what he's read, she's the daughter of Imam Hussain alayhi salam. However, due to her illness and due to her condition, she wasn't able to accompany her father towards Karbala. And so she sits in a corner of her house. And whilst she's sitting there in the corner, she speaks towards the four walls of her lonely house. No father, no mother. Everyone has left to go towards the battle of Karbala. So as she's sitting there, and this is the man reading the story of Karbala, as she's sitting there, she thinks to herself, where is my father gone? Where is my mother gone? Why won't they come back? Why won't they come back? And so the words of her heart spills out to her mouth, and she speaks. Far away from this empty home, there's a pain in the distant sky. Pillars of smoke rise in the quest of heaven. but they're lost in the dark of night. In the darkness of this home, there's a lonely soul so close to mine, and she waits for the loving eyes and beating hearts of the ones who can make her smile. And love is far, so far away, but this heart wants to find a way to be once more in the arms of love, either here or up above. And she has a secret lullaby for the baby who left here dressed in white. But these tears can't quench that thirst, so she sits and waits for love to return, saying, surely love can find a way to come back and make a vow to stay. But by now the flames are whispers in the wind, and all hope of seeing love again has faded. Love is far, so far away, but this heart wants to find a way to be once more in the arms of love, either here or up above. Far away from this empty home, love has left us, love has gone. So he's finished reading the story and his mind is confused. He's saying, surely that this man Hussein he's gone through so much trials and tribulations that me losing my mother is nothing compared to what he's gone through. Absolutely nothing. I'm going to book my ticket and I'm going to go tomorrow. So he went the next day. And coincidentally, he went during the Arbaeen time. And those who've been to Iraq before, during the Arbaeen, Iraq becomes jam-packed with zuwar, with visitors that are visiting Imam Hussain alayhi salam. So he arrives on the plane, anyway, so he arrives in Najaf airports, no bag, or actually, a small bag he carries with him, passport in his pocket, wallet in his back pocket. He calls up the next taxi and he says, I want to go to Karbala. He says, mate, that's impossible. What do you mean? He goes, do you not know what time of year it is? He said, no, what time of year is it? He goes, it's the Arbaeen. So we asked him, what is the Arbaeen? He goes, well, so on and so forth, the Arbaeen of Imam Hussain salam, the 40th day since he passed away. He goes, okay, so what's everyone doing here? The taxi man replied to him, said, all of these millions of people that you see have left their work, have left their families, have left their friends and their social interactions, have left everything that they hold dear to go towards this man called Hussein. So everything they've sacrificed, they'll sacrifice everything to go towards Imam Hussain. Not only do they go towards Imam al-Hussein, but they leave their comforts, the physical comforts of going by car, and they walk it to Imam Hussain alayhi salam. They walk 100 kilometers, 200 kilometers, 300 kilometers. They all walk to a man called Hussein and say, Assalamu alayka ya Aba Abdullah al-Hussein. To reply to the call of Hussein. Why? Because Imam Hussein on the day of Ashura, on the land of Karbala, he made a call. He said, Hal min nasirin yansuruna. Is there anyone out there to answer my call? Is there anyone out there to heed us, to help us, to save us? The call transcended time to this day and age. To this day and age, 2015, upon which all the Muslims and all the Shia and all of those who follow Imam Hussain alayhi salam go towards Hussein and say, yes, we answer the call of Hussein alayhi salam. We answer your call and say, yes, if we were there on the day of Ashura, we would protect you. We would learn from you. We would pledge our allegiance to Imam Hussain alayhi salam. So anyway, back to our story. Muhammad, or whatever, I'm going to call him Muhammad for now. So Muhammad arrives in Najaf airport and says, okay, so there's no taxi. What do? I have to walk it? He goes, yes, you have to walk it. He goes, there's no way, I need to get to this shrine ASAP. My mother passed away and she left me this will almost to visit Hussein. He said, okay, you know what? I feel sorry for you. Let me try and take some back routes to get you as close as possible to Imam Hussain alayhi salam. So he said, okay, fine. So they're driving along and he's just contemplating on life, contemplating on his mother passing away, contemplating on the story that he read about Fatima al-Alila and how that his love, the love for Fatima al-Alila is far, far away. But the man then says, the taxi man says, okay, listen, this is as much as I can tell you. This is the border of Karbala. He says, okay, thank you very much. So he gets off the taxi. He gets off the taxi and he starts to walk towards the border. Now, as he's getting off the taxi, he didn't realize that he dropped his back wallet in the car. After he paid the man, he must have tried to put it in his back pocket, but it didn't. Sometimes that happens with men and it's really annoying. But anyway, so he tried to put his wallet into his back pocket. It didn't work. He left the wallet in the back seat of the taxi. And he went forth. He forgot about it. It'll become significant in a second. So he's going towards Imam Hussain alayhi salam, but then he realizes that it's night time. And I really want to see Imam Hussain alayhi salam during the day. During the day. So he says, let me try and catch some sleep somewhere. Can we get a hotel or stay somewhere? So as he's going towards the hotel, he realizes that his money isn't there. So he has to now walk the streets of Karbala. Walk the streets of Karbala until he finds and reaches the shrine of Imam Hussain alayhi salam. He says, well, Abu Abdullah, he says from far away, Abu Abdullah, if I can't come to you in the afternoon, upon which I can see all your glory, I'll come to you at night. So he walks towards Imam Hussain alayhi salam. And this is the pinnacle of the story right now. He walks towards Imam Hussain alayhi salam. And then he sits in that courtyard of Imam Hussain. And I don't know if anyone has been in the courtyard of Imam Hussain alayhi salam. The serenity that you feel, the peace of mind that you feel, the peace of heart that you feel in that courtyard, just the courtyard itself. You see people walking past, you see pigeons flying across, you can peek and see the dome of Imam Hussain alayhi salam in all its glory. The lights, sometimes in Ashura or during the Muharram and Arbaeen times, they dim the lights. So it creates such an atmosphere upon which your heart will open towards the message of Imam Hussain alayhi salam and the inspiration of Imam Hussain alayhi salam. So there and then he decides to embrace Karbala, to embrace Imam Hussain alayhi salam, to embrace the shrine of Imam Hussain. Let me show you what I see when I close these eyes. So many swimming in the gold sea, looking for their prize. But I stand here before them, man, woman and child. In the hands of the promises made by the hypocrites, they're all in denial. In the heat of the morning, I see the coldest hearts, 20 deep in the distance, and the drum beats hard. They're all hoping for glory. Yeah, their eyes are wide. White mountains and seas of red lead the way to the deepest crimes on the day when all is lost in the fire and the flames. We found what we were looking for, a beautiful embrace on the day when all is lost in the fire and the flames. We found what we were looking for, a beautiful. Now we're walking in iron chains, in between lions who have been slain. I'm trying to be mighty brave. It's hard to be brave when the kids are crying, slowly dying, walking in iron chains. Can't help but remember yesterday. I was told it would be this way, but the heads keep falling, voices calling me. Be strong. There's a lot to be done. Be strong. Be strong. Hold on. There's a lot to be done. Be strong. Hold on. Hold on. There's a lot to be done. Be strong. Be strong. Hold on. There's a lot to be done, be strong. Hold on. Hold on. There's a lot to be done, be strong. Be strong. Hold on. There's a lot to be done, be strong. Be strong. Hold on. There's a lot to be done, be strong. Be strong. Hold on. Hold on. On the day when all is lost in the fire and the flame, we found what we were looking for, a beautiful embrace on the day when all is lost in the fire and the flames. We found what we were looking for, a beautiful embrace. So he embraces Karbala and he embraces the tragedy of Karbala. by embracing the shrine of Imam Hussain alayhi salam. And I urge every single one of us to really attempt to embrace the tragedy of Karbala and embrace the story of Karbala, and just to merely embrace Hussein into your life. Embrace the Ahlul Bayt into your life, and you will see the difference in your lives. I promise you that. And I promise you that from the deepest of my hearts. That if you embrace the Ahlul Bayt into your hearts, you won't go astray and you will find peace and salvation. And so, he goes back, our character Muhammad, after being content by being in the shrine of Imam Hussain, he goes back towards his home and he lives his life peacefully by embracing the Ahlul Bayt and embracing the tragedy of Karbala. What he does learn before he heads back towards his home back in, where do we call it, Australia? Yeah, back in Australia, he does learn something. He learns that Imam al-Hussain alayhi salam shouldn't be held in a bubble. It shouldn't mean that what we know and what we've been born with is what we keep for the rest of our lives. No. What we have is just the beginning of what we've been taught. Instead, we have to develop ourselves and to ascend to greater realms upon which we can push ourselves, expand that comfort zone that we have in order to develop and to really become successful in this life. And for that, we must rise higher. Reza. Don't leave me, 'cause maybe I won't get to see you again. It hurts me to think that this could be goodbye, my old friend. For many, many years, you gave me reasons to keep looking within. You bruise me, but leave me more in love with the one that was sent to take me higher, away from desire. And I spent 10 nights in grief. I'm hoping for peace, but I don't want to sleep. And when I close my eyes, Karbala, your land is in my mind. And I can't stop these tears, no, I won't find peace tonight. This fire in my heart won't die, and even in my dreams I cry. I cry. I wait for you, Ya Hussein, I crave to be by your side. I'll listen to you, I promise, please just give me one more night to hear your story. I'm helpless, wishing I could save your life. You give me courage to face the demons that I have inside, to take me higher, away from desire. And I spent 10 nights in grief. I'm praying for peace, but I don't want to sleep. And when I close my eyes, Karbala, your land is in my mind. And I can't stop these tears, no, I won't find peace tonight. This fire in my heart won't die, and even in my dreams I hear the cries. I see bodies laying side by side, children screaming, I know they won't find peace tonight. This fire in my heart won't die, and even in my dreams I cry. I cry, but they're useless. These tears on their own. When I answer the questions alone, yes, they're useless. These tears on their own. If I don't follow his lead, so I'm working for peace, but there's war in my sleep. Cause when I close my eyes, Karbala, your land is in my mind, and I can't stop these tears, no, I won't find peace tonight. This fire in my heart won't die, and even in my dreams I hear the cries. I see bodies laying side by side, children screaming, I know they won't find peace tonight. This fire in my heart won't die, and even in my dreams